Ready, baby?
I did.
You guess you're ready? I'm ready. Chris and I are going to go out for a little ride. We we've got one of those kind of the last few days of Indian summer. We got some 39 and 40 degree weather coming for lows next week. And so we're going to go out for a little ride this evening. This is the last few days of Indian summer. 89 degrees today. It's 87 right now. I've got to do a radio show here with my buddy Pat Rose. Here in just a few minutes, so I'm going to stop up here on the hill and do that. We're going to let the evening kind of go on. I'd like to get up here to kind of a cool spot where we might be able to see some animals come out while we're doing our radio show. I think that's Stray Cats Radio is what he calls that. And that's us, Stray Cats. That's what we are. The one thing I like about Pat, he's a good friend. He's been a friend for many, many years. And he's got hair longer than mine. And it's uglier than mine, too, if that's possible. So anyway, what do you think, baby doll? It's nice, isn't it?
I don't know.
It's like summertime, isn't it? Huh?
I guess.
I guess. Well, it is, honey. You sure have a pretty smile. I sure do love you. You do love me. I'm so glad. All righty. Let's see what happens. All righty. Heading on down the road. Driving by the pens. We look over there. I know it's sunny over there. There's Whitey over there standing out there. Looking good. Oh, he's peeing. Hey, it don't matter where they are. You put them on camera and they pee. Yep, he's looking good though. Looking nice. Looking nice. Looking good. This is one of Beamer's favorite ponds right here. Anytime we get close to it, she likes to get in this pond. But I want you to take a look at it. This was a pond that we did. Beamer, you're just as bad as a deer. Stop and pee on camera. This is a little pond that we irrigated our baby pecan trees out of right here, right on the edge of this. Got fish in that pond. I don't know if they're still alive or not. We haven't checked, but you can see we've had this place since 2003. I've never seen that pond that low. I want to really kind of keep Beamer out of it, but I'll try to walk down there for just a little bit and look at it. I've never seen it down this low at all. I don't want Beamer down there in the mud because she'll sink up to her belly button probably. But just take a look at this down here. I'll make sure I don't step on a big rattleback also. But you can see, and you can look and see just how dry it's become. This is just absolutely horrendous, horrible. And ponds are like this all over southern Oklahoma right now. And I would be in a couple, 2 or 3 foot of water right here, or 4 where I'm walking, and I'm in nothing. Now, I definitely do not want. Oh, there's fish out there. I see fish moving as I'm walking up here. It's scaring them. It's amazing how they can and will survive. A lot of frogs in there, completely full of frogs. They're about to run out of water too. I don't know what they're going to do. They can't. A frog, of course, can live in the water, out of the water, either one. They're like a crawfish in a way. Crawfish can live underwater forever. You know, they don't need to come up for air at all. But there's not much of a pond there. You can see it's usually up there to the edge of those trees. Those trees right there are usually in the water. Those bushes are usually in the water right there, and the water's usually right up to the edge of that field. But you can see what it looks like right now. It's terrible. I'm going to go over here and check the garden and take a look at the watermelons. We just keep getting watermelons and stuff get stuff for the deer. Of course, I've been eating watermelons too. Chris is eating a little bit of watermelon. I'm eating a lot of watermelon. I love watermelon. And but we've been feeding a lot of watermelon to the deer. Any of the watermelons are not perfect and really good. We've been feeding to the deer, and they love them. I'm telling you, they just slobber and get all messy just like I do eating a watermelon. They don't seem to bother them a bit, but they really like it. So I'm going to go over and take a look at the watermelon. Let me show you what's left of the garden here. It is the middle of October, and we're still getting stuff out of the garden. That's pretty cool, isn't it? Pretty cool deal. Okay, we made it to the garden. Made it to the garden. Going to check here. Check here and see what's left in it. Pretty ragged looking up here. You can look at the deal that we've had 3/10 of an inch of rain in the last 6 weeks. in the last 3 months, we've had about 1.5 inches in the last 3 months. June, July, August, September. That's 4 months, isn't it? And so you look and see where we had tomato plants, it's totally gone. But you can look over here in the watermelons, and even though we have a lot of weeds and stuff in there, you can see we have baby watermelons everywhere. Look at those baby watermelons, and they're still growing. Now we water them occasionally, but not a lot, but there's still quite a few baby watermelons in here, and some pretty good sized ones. There's a pretty good sized melon right there. That melon's plenty big enough to eat. That's a good melon. Here's another nice sized melon over there, small ones. They're kind of going in every direction. A few little tomatoes still trying to grow there. And I think we've got zucchini. As you look through here, you find there's several melons still here. And they just sort of keep coming. The little ones just of course sort of keep popping around. There's another little guy right there. And it looks terrible. It's not really a very pretty watermelon patch with all. I just stepped on one right there. That's a nice melon. I didn't even see that. That there's a lot of them as you look down through here, scattered off through here. You can't really notice them too much until they get to be pretty good size. And they seem to be competing with the weeds for the nutrients really well. And there's quite a few watermelons here. And the little ones just keep coming. Look off over here, you can see there's a little one and a big one right beside it. Pretty good sized watermelon. There's another pretty good sized watermelon right there. And we are actually giving watermelon to our deer every single day. This old vine going off here, it goes way off out here at the end, and there's a melon. You come off over here, there's another little bitty baby melon starting right there. So the little ones are still growing. Now we're supposed to get down in the 30s one day next week, so this is probably going to be just about all over. But it's actually pretty cool what's happening. There's lots of little melons. There's another little guy right there. So lots of little melons still growing up here. And we've got a few cucumber and a few zucchini that's still going too. So, and cauliflower, I believe. So pretty amazing. And as we come over here, here's something else. We still have okra. We still have okra. Of course, you know, with Chris being hurt, me not cooking, I'm getting a lot of frozen stuff. And you can see we got a lot of okras that just have gone bad on the vine. But you can see we still have a lot of okra growing. A lot of okra could be picked right now. It's almost a shame. We're feeding this to the deer also. We cut this okra and give it to the deer. But you can just look at all the okra in through here. I mean, tons and tons of it. And a lot of it fresh, still growing, still producing okra. Pretty incredible, pretty incredible. And you look down through there, that's all okra all the way down through there. Tons of okra, lots of okra. And we just, you know, we've got all that we can say grace over, really. And I've been giving it away and taking it to Sherry and Jamie. And we still have squash. Look, we still have squash right there growing. We still have some zucchini coming in here. It's a lot of weeds because we watered it pretty heavy and we hadn't really had time to weed it that much. But it doesn't matter. It's still, we still had lots and lots of stuff coming and still picking stuff and giving to the animals out of here every single day. So that's our garden. You can see that here it is, the middle of October, and we still got watermelon. There's another watermelon there. As I walk around over here on this end, I'm finding more watermelon plants. Now, we're even going to do a little bit more next year, I think, just to produce a little bit more for the deer. We're going to put in a few more watermelon plants and a few more. Oh, here's a bunch more watermelon growing over here. I didn't even check these out over here on this side. Oh man, there's a bunch of them over here. Yeah, got a lot of watermelon. They're kind of growing everywhere. But we're going to have quite a bit of stuff for the animals. Probably plant more zucchini. They seem to like that zucchini a lot. They like cucumbers a lot. They ate the okra, but they got kind of tired of okra. But they love watermelon. I'm telling you, the deer love watermelon. Of course, we've got a high fence around our garden here, so with Chris, I haven't been able to help Apache like I normally do. But if Apache gets it done, whether I help him or not, I feel like I'm not a very good hand. But anyway, it's all good. Still stuff in the garden here in the middle of October. That's pretty cool, isn't it, huh? As Chris and I move out into this huge pecan orchard, and by the time that you get to see this video, which will be in a few days, I think we will be accepting orders. I think we've just about got all the pricing figured out. We're going to, for the first time in several years, 4 or 5 years, have just a little bit of a price increase. The price increase is mostly because of postage. I think we do have about a quarter a pound increase on the price of pecans. But you see the elk out there, and they're probably going to start moving on me. But Beamer, come here. Beamer, come here. Beamer, come here. Get back out in here. Beamer won't chase the elk. I just know that they'll be afraid of him. But you can see there's a really beautiful big herd of elk there. I don't know how many's out there. Counting them, I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 right there. They love this out here. Apache has brush hogged all of the pecan groves. This is a big one right here. But he's brush hogged all of them and got most of the sticks picked up and is ready to shake these trees. A lot of the trees are just pretty bare. A lot of the trees are pretty good. And there's got to be a big bull there. Oh, I see him over on the left. I knew it had to be a big one because that's quite a harem he's got right there. And it takes a big bull to collect that big a harem and keep them intact, keep them in tow, and keep another big bull from taking them away from him. But you can see that's a big boy right there. You see if I can stop here a minute and zoom in. I'm hand holding this. You can see he is a big, beautiful. He's a big, beautiful elk. Beamer, come here. Beamer, come here. You got his horns, he got over there a little bit behind, but you can see his horns up through that. He'll probably move around a little bit. He's right in the middle of the bunch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. About 15 cows there that he's got gathered up. Cows and calves. There you can see his antlers a little bit better right now. You can see he is a dandy. He is definitely a dandy. Look at that big boy. And that's all of his girls right there. He's got control of the entire pack. And they're pretty much in full rut right now. Look at that big boy. Isn't he beautiful? I think he's probably a 6x6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6x6 could possibly be a 7x7. And it's just absolutely beautiful. This was a big pecan grove. There's probably 200 or 300 trees in this grove. And many of them have got pecans on them. Many of them do not this year. It's been so dry, that's probably had an effect on it. Pecan trees, as I mentioned before, are taproot trees. And so they go down and tap into an underground water source, and so they get water even in the dry years. But it has been so dry. Apache's got a well, and he's having trouble keeping enough water in that well just to take a shower. He told me he's taking a 5-second shower. You know that, Chris? Apache told me he's taking a 5-second shower. I think you can't get very clean in 5 seconds, can you?
No.
Especially as dirty as he gets in a day's time. But you can see this tree there's hundreds of trees right here in this grove. And beautiful bunch of elk. Got a real nice Texas hunter stand right down there in that corner. Just an incredibly beautiful place to hunt in the evening. See lots of deer, lots of elk. Wild pigs come by occasionally. Well, I thought I'd stop and show you. Beamer, come here. Come here, Beamer. Beamer, come here. Stay out of the water. It's too muddy down there. Here's another one of our ponds, and I'm just going to show you. This is a really deep pond. I mean, this pond is, when it's full, is probably 10 or 12 feet deep. And you can see it still has water in it, but it doesn't have much. You can see up there on the bank how far that is. There was just water where my mule is sitting right now. It goes up to the edge of that pond down there when it's full, but back behind it. And that's probably, I'm sure I'm every bit of 10 foot above that water right now. So that's how much you know, it should be 10 foot of water on top of that right there. And water coming out here to where we are. If you turn around and look, all this little green stuff right there that you're seeing, that's all in this pond. That's all in this pond normally. Right there at the edge of it, where we're sitting is normally in the pond. That's the drought that's here in southern Oklahoma that is just amazing. It's a drought of almost historic proportions. And the grass right over there, that bank right there, the water's normally right up to the edge of that right there. You can see where the water is. That is a good 10 foot over the top of that. This is a deep, deep pond. It's actually deeper than I thought it was. I didn't realize how deep it was. Water is normally, again, over there, that up to that brown looking grass. Where you see where the green goes up, it goes up to that brown looking grass where the water normally is. So amazing drought. Keep praying for Chris. Keep praying for rain.